Hello, welcome everyone. So, on this channel, particularly, we will going to study the sample question papers. So here, this is the concept of a mechanical engineering one model question paper. It is first one. So please subscribe the channel and save the video, or else press the bell icon, so you're going to get the notifications of the upcoming videos and question papers. We will see here completely the question with the answers, how to write, and so what are the tricks that you need to follow to get the marks, so that you can easily pass it, and as well as you can score well. So this is the first model question paper. I will come up again with the new question papers. There are total 3 model question papers for this syllabus. This is a 25 ME 11 T. This is theory subject. Okay, this is first one we are going to see. So please subscribe the channel, and so that you don't need to search here and there. You will easily you can find this channel. So somewhat I will go with the mixed language Kannada and as well as English. So here I will discuss what kind of the question paper it will be there. So for the part A question, only the first written answer will be considered for the evaluation. So for part A, MCQ, there are a MCQ part A. Here total 15 MCQs are available. Okay, you can see here. So the total 15 MCQs are there, and each one will be for 1 marks. So first answer, if you write and if you scratch, it will be not considered. So first whatever you are writing it, you have to it will be considered. If you ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರೆದು ಅದನ್ನು ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So whatever you are writing answer in the first attempt only, you have to write it cleanly and correctly. Okay. So there will be 15 questions for the MCQ. The next each will be for 1 marks, means 15 marks MCQ. The next you have part B. In this you are having in the part A again you are having a fill in the blanks for 5 marks. So here each fill in the blanks will be for 1 marks, total 5 marks. So 20 marks you are going to get for MCQ and fill in the blanks. So here part B, in the part B each question is for the 2 marks, total 10 marks. Answer any 5, you have to answer any 5 questions here. So each will be 2 marks. So here 10 marks. So the next here part C, in the part C each question is for 3 marks and total 15 questions. So any 5 questions you have to write, any 5. So you can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or else any in between 5 you can write. The next in the part D you can write 5 questions, so 25 marks. So this is the any 5 questions again, once again you are having a choice here. So next in the part D each question is for 10 marks, any 3 questions you can write. Here each question is for 5 marks, here it is for the 3 marks each question, means you have to write 3, you have to write here 5 questions, here 3 questions you have to write. Then next so this is the last 10. So here this will be total 100 marks question paper. So out of 100 you have to get the 40% of the marks. 40% of marks means you have to get at least 40 marks here for the passing purpose. 40 marks means it will be reduced to the 50 marks. Again there is a conversion for the result. So out of 100 you have to get 40 marks, at least minimum 40 marks you need to get here. So this is the first model question paper. Let us start, and I have explained you in the first video only about the how many questions you have to attend and what kind of the answers you need to write. In the first attempt only you have to write it clean and clear. So let us start. ಬನ್ನಿ ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಒನ್ ಬೈ ಒನ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಗಳ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಸೊ MCQ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ SI? ಅಂದರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ನೀವು ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀರ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಸಮ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ದಿ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಸಮ್ MCQ books and all, you're going to get idea about those questions and answers. Okay, you can remember from there only. So what is the unit of the force here they asked? Unit of force. So force is in the SI. SI means standard, international standard. It is in international standard. Force is measured in the Newton. Remember, force is always measured in the Newton. Energy is a joule, and here weight is measured in the kilogram. Okay. So force you are measuring in the Newton. So these are not related to the force. Okay. So the next question is SI unit of the moment or the torque. So what will be the answer for the torque here exactly? So it is the answer is a Newton meter. Why the Newton meter is the answer? So because what is the unit of this force? Torque unit is formula is force into distance it is. So force is measured in terms of the Newton and length is measured in terms of meter. So Newton meter will be the answer for that one. Okay. Next, steel is an alloy of iron, and alloy means, first you need to understand alloy. Alloy means what? Alloy is a mixture of the two or more materials. Remember it. It is a mixture of two or more materials. So here one material is iron. So for the steel is an alloy. Remember it. Steel is an alloy. So it is made up of the iron, and second one is carbon. You are adding the carbon. Carbon is the correct answer. Okay. So the next here next. In the grey cast iron, carbon present in the form of what? Flex. It is answer. Answer is the flex. Flex means you can call. They are also calling it as a graphite. Means it is like a powder. It is just like a powder, graphite. Okay, I have written here. So flex is nothing but carbon in the form of the flex. Okay, or else it is referred as a graphite. It is called as a graphite. Sometimes it is called as a graphite also. So it is in the crystalline form, like a powder only. It is. So the correct answer for this one is here is what? Flex. Okay. The next, ability of the material to develop the characteristics behavior under the repeated loading is known as. Here they have asked the material. If you are loading it and unloading repeatedly, which characteristics under behavior under the repeated loading is known as? It is called as a fatigue. So you have to remember the definitions. So toughness and hardness are different. So hardness is a withstanding indentation and scratches. Toughness, sudden load. Resilience is in the spring, or else where the shock it will going to absorb. So the correct answer here, repeated load. For the repeated load it is a fatigue. Andre ಹಾರ್ಡ್ನೆಸ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಟಫ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಡನ್ ಲೋಡ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ರೆಸಿಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶಾಕ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ. ಫಟಿಗ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಥಿಂಗ್ ವೇರ್ ರಿಪೀಟೆಡ್ ಲೋಡ್ ನೀವು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಪೀಟೆಡ್ ಲೋಡ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಲೋಡ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಫಟಿಗ್. ವರ್ಡ್ ಯು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಲೋಡಿಂಗ್, ಫಟಿಗ್. The next is the response of the material due to the function of the heat is known as. If you are heating some material, if it is getting hot, then we can say it is getting hot because of which property it is. So it is because of the thermal property. It is not an electric. If you are giving the current, it will give you the shock, or else if you are applying the force, then it will change property, then it is called as a mechanical. Okay, if chemical reaction is happening, then it is called as a chemical property. So here, but if your object you are hitting, the one, if you are hitting at one end, then other end is also at other end there is a temperature increase in the temperature, then it is called as a thermal property. So correct answer is thermal property. Next, brass is a alloy of a copper and zinc. Remember it, copper and zinc. Correct answer is copper and zinc. Okay, composite materials can be classified into the. So the correct answer is matrix and reinforcement constant. Why these are answers? Because this answer is correct because composite material is made up of the two or more materials. So it is made up of two or more materials. Sorry. So here two or more materials, with the help of two or more materials it is made. So what are those two or more materials? One will be matrix and one will be reinforcement. So here example, you can consider the concrete column. In the column there will be a steel rods. There will be a steel rods and cement and sand. This complete mixture is added and the column is made. So that's why we call it as a composite. That is called as a composite material. So there will be one matrix and one reinforcing material. So that's why the correct answer for the composite material we can classify on the basis of matrix and reinforcing constituent. The next, the piston and cylinder arrangement in an internal combustion engine is an example of a what type of a kinematic pair. So single sliding pair it is. Why it is single sliding pair? Because so here there is a turning pair, here there is a rolling pair and spherical pair. So this comes under the different methods. So here, so there is a one part, that is a cylinder. So here you can consider this one example, already I hope you have studied. So cylinder is the only part that will be turning here, sliding. Cylinder is the only part that will going to slide, so that's why it is called as single slider sliding pair. It is called as cylinder and piston arrangement. So next, 10th question, which of the following is an inversion of a single slider crank mechanism? So inversion means if you are fixing any link, then it is called as an inversion, first thing. So next single slider. So 4-bar linkage, beam engine, there will be a multiple sliding pairs. Scotch yoke mechanism, it is also different. 4-bar linkage, it is also different. So here only single slider, only one sliding pair will be in the quick return mechanism only. In the Whitworth quick return mechanism, there will be only one sliding pair. So that's why correct answer is Whitworth quick return mechanism. In which of the following flat belt drive commonly used? Okay, in which method it is used? In which application is the flat belt drive commonly used? Okay, so here in the gearbox and car we are not using. Okay, there will be a gearbox. In the elevator also you are using. So I hope here correct answer will be floor mill. Yes, in the correct answer is floor mill. Floor mill andre ಗಿರ್ನಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು flat belt use ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, here you are using the gear, here also you are using the gears, here also you are using the gear. So only the flat belt will be used in the floor mills, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗಿರ್ನಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು flat belt ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Next, rope drive are best suitable for the which of the following applications? So elevators and crane you are using the rope drive, because you have to adjust that one again and again. You may need to shift that one, so it is easy to assemble and in the low space, and there is a distance between the two. So it generally depends upon the distance. So distance between the two drivers is more. When distance between the two drivers is more, you are using the rope. When distance is less, you are using the gear, or else other mechanisms, screw and all mechanism you can use for the short space. You cannot use the belt over there. So when the distance is more, you have to use always which one, belt or a rope drive you have to use. So here it will be elevators and crane is having always, it is having more length. So the correct answer is C, elevator and crane. So the next question is, okay, let me clear this one. So next question, which type of a gear has a teeth parallel to the axis? Means both, if the driver and driven, so both should have same direction, in the same direction. Okay, so here bevel gear is in this angle type. So the next one is, here you can see worm gear, so it will be like this, and here in the helical gear it will be in the form of a cross, but in the spur gear it will be parallel. So correct answer is spur gear. Next, the nut and bolt are combination of an example of. So it is a thread and fastener because nut and bolts will be having fastener. We are assembling that one. Weld joint is a permanent joint. Permanent joint is also not in a nut and bolt. So there are no separate parts. A rivet joint is also permanent joint. So threaded and fasteners, nut and bolts will always have a threads. ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ ಥ್ರೆಡ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಥ್ರೆಡೆಡ್ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ನರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, ದ ಟಿಗ್ ವೆಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್, the electrode is used non-consumable tungsten electrode. So correct answer is it is not consumable. Sometimes you can use a filler material. Here you are using the filler material. You will be using the filler material. Okay. So the correct answer is non-consumable tungsten electrode. Electrode is of a tungsten. Tungsten electrode. Okay. Next we are going to see the fill in the blanks in this question paper. So first one, let us see. Energy and work have a same SI unit because both involves the force. So correct answer is a force applied over a distance. Because both will be both you can see here. Work is done when the force causes a displacement. Because of the force, something if object is if you are pushing something, it will move from one place to another place. So then we can say that the work is done, or else it is an effort. So both are having in the work as well as in the work as well as in the energy. At both the places you have to apply the force. Force is the main objective that is going to work. Okay, next one, dash is a thermoplastic polymer widely used in the pipes and cables. So that the correct answer is PVC. The answers are given here. So PVC is the correct answer. Plastic. So here is the only one material. Rest are formulas, or else it is a unit that it is. PVC is the only material. You can identify in this manner also. ಈ ಥರ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಉಳ್ಕಿದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಇದಾವೆ, ಟರ್ಮಿನಾಲಜೀಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ ಅಥವಾ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಒಂದೇ ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಹೆಸರಿದೆ. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ದ ಡ್ಯಾಶ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ 4-bar linkage used to copy or a scale move in the control device and a plotting instrument. So here pantograph, in the pantograph it is a device. In this only it is used 4-bar linkage mechanism. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ rest all are, this is material, this is the parameter, this is the pitch is the it is the circle, it is line representing. So only the instrument is called a pantograph. It is okay. The imaginary circle that rolls without slipping when two gears are meshed is called as a pitch circle. The correct answer is pitch circle. In the arc welding, the electric arc is struck between the electrode and workpiece and the workpiece. So in the welding, so here there will be workpiece and welding rod. So here there will be arc. So there will be arc. So it is the arc is produced in the between of what? Workpiece and electrode. You ಎರಡು ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಕ್ ತಯಾರಾಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಪೀಸ್. ಎರಡರ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ ತಯಾರಾಗ್ತದೆ. So this is about the first half. Now let us discuss about the part B. So in the part B there are 2 marks questions. These are any 5 you have to answer. So I will explain all. So first one is what is the SI unit for the derived quantity. So you need to understand what is the derived quantity and what are the fundamental units and derived units or derived quantity you have to. So main you are using fundamental units, you are using mass, okay, mass, then length, time. These are the fundamental units. Mass for the kg you are using, length for you are using meter, and your time you are using seconds. So these are standard. ಇವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಬದಲು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ. हे सगळं बदलू शकत नाही तुम्ही. So only we have to change what we can change, or else we can derive the units from this one. So using the, if you are using kilo, kg per meter, or else meter per second square. So these are the derived units. You are deriving this from these units only. You are finding this one from these units. So that's why these are called as the derived units, and these are the fundamentals. main, these are for, actual, these are in simple word if you are asking. See here, for acceleration and energy, so let us see. First one, the SI unit is acceleration and energy. There will be meter per second square and energy is measured in the joule. So if you are writing this much, you will get 2 marks. So 1 mark for each. So 1 mark for this one and 1 mark for this one. So how acceleration is meter per second square? So this is actually distance, speed by distance. Speed is measured in meter per second. Okay, and distance is second. So second, it will be meter second. So this will be meter second square. This will be. So that's why the meter per second square it is. The next, alloys. Definition of the alloy. Define the alloy. Alloy is a mixture of two or more elements where at least one is a metal and the resulting material has a metallic properties. So when you are mixing two or more metals, there will be one of the new material that is going to form. That material is called as an alloy. Okay, so this is a simple definition you can write. So the important words are mixture of the two or more elements where at least one is metal, or else you can write mixture of the two or more metal where the third metal will form, that is called as the alloy, you can write. So the next question is specific heat. Heat andre ಏನು? Specific heat andre. Example, you can see specific heat is nothing but amount of heat it is required to raise the temperature of 1 kg of a substance by 1 degree Celsius. Andre ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದ್ರ 1 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿಯಸ್ ನೀವು ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ತೈತಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ 1 degree Celsius. Suppose example, if you are having body temperature 29 and you want to convert this one 29 to 30, if you want to increase this temperature, so there is a 1 degree difference. So to rise this 1 degree, whatever the heat it is required, that heat is called as a specific heat. So the amount of weight should be 1 kilogram only, or 1 kilogram. So amount of heat required to rise the temperature through 1 degree Celsius of a 1 kg substance. So this word is important. 1 kg, 1 degree Celsius. Next, composite materials. So composite materials are also mixture of a two or more materials. Which, okay. So but here one thing is, composite material is a combination of two or more materials which possesses much superior properties than any one of the constituent element. Means wherever you are obtaining better quality, actually if you are having one material 1 and material 2, consider. So if you are mixing these two materials, though whatever your material you are going to achieve, the property of this material will be much more better than these two materials. Okay, of a material A, B and C. So new material will be C material. So the property of this material, C material, will be more good than the A and B. So this is one point. And another point you can add here is in which in the composite material it is a mixture of a two or more material in which one will be a matrix and one will be a reinforcement. Matrix and reinforcement. One will act as a matrix and one will be act as a reinforcement material. So you can add that point. That is important point here. Okay. So the next, what is the fifth one question. The mechanism is what is the mechanism? Here fifth, what is mechanism? What is kinetic pair? What is the velocity ratio and belt drive? What is bracing? Okay, next we are going to see. So mechanism is an arrangement of connected parts or links designed to transmit the motion. So important word here is what? What is mechanism? If you want to say a mechanism, ಅಂದರೆ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಫಾರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್? ಟು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ದಿ ಮೋಷನ್ ಆರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ಒಂದು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಅಥವಾ ಈಗ ನೀವು ಗಾಡಿಗಳನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಓಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಜೊತೆ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಟು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ದ ಎನರ್ಜಿ, ಅದು ಇಂಜಿನ್ ಪವರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ವಿಲ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದೋಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್, ದೋಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ದಿ ಪವರ್. So transmit the motion or a force from one part to another part. So that is called as a mechanism, or else mechanical parts we can call it as. So what is a kinematic pair? So it is a connection between two elements that allow the relative motion. Same here, mechanism and kinematic pair both are same. So it is actually, mechanism is a part of this kinematic pair only. By the help of the kinematic pair only you can create the mechanism. So here connection between the two elements that allows the relative motion between the. So here you are going to get 2 marks, 2 marks, 2 marks, 2 marks, 2 marks. But if you are not mentioning these specific words, then you are not going to get the marks. So velocity ratio of the speed is so what is the velocity ratio? If consider there are two wheels, if you are connected with the help of a rope, if you have connected these two wheels, okay. So if you are having a motor at this end and you are running this first pulley, and with the help of belt you are running this second one. So this will be a driver and this will be driven pulley. So the ratio of these two, driver divided by, so we will call this one as a driver and this will be as a driven, D2. So ratio of this D1 D2 should be equal to the N1 N2, N1 and N2. Okay, this ratio is called as the ratio of a driver pulley and driven pulley ratio, it is called as. So here in the technical word you can write, it is a ratio of the speed of the driver pulley and the speed of the driven pulley is called as a velocity ratio of a belt drive, it is called as. And the next part is brazing. Brazing is a joining process. Yes, it is similar to the welding, but here there will be no arc production. And the joining, you are joining the two or more two materials without melting the base metal. In the welding, what happens when you are doing the welding? If you want to weld these two parts A and B, when you produce the arc over here, so it will also melt this base material also. But here in the brazing, what happens, if you are joining these two materials, small materials, you will add some filler here and that will going to melt and that will form the joint. There is no need of arc producing or melting the base metal. So joining the two or more materials, so joining the two parts together by the melting, here there will be a melting, but without melting the base metal. ಅಂದರೆ ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಎರಡು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಮೆಲ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ನೆಸಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದನ್ನ ಮೆಲ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ and you will going to join those. So this is how you can form the joint in the brazing. So that is the important word, joining without the melting of the base metal. So this term is important here.
Here the next part is answering the any 5 questions. It is the 4th question, part C and part D, section 1, and in the part D you are having the section 2. Part D you are having the section 2. So let us start with this question answers. Okay, here we will see one by one the 5 marks questions. So these are the 3 marks questions. You have to answer any 5. So let us see here. So in the question, the distance is given here. So car travels at 90 meters in the 6 seconds. Calculate the velocity and the acceleration you need to calculate. So to calculate the velocity, the formula is distance upon the time. Distance upon time is the formula. So here the distance is the 90 meter and the time is 6 seconds. So when you divide this one, when you divide this one, 90 divided by 6 is equal, answer is 15 meter per second. So here 90 is the in terms of the meter and the time is in terms of second. So unit will become 6 meter per second. Sorry, 15 meter per second. So this is how you can calculate. And the velocity, so this is velocity, and the acceleration, since the velocity is constant, there is no change in the velocity, so that's why the acceleration is 0 meter per second. So whenever there will be a change in the velocity, you can measure the acceleration. So here the unit will be meter per second square. So again, so whatever the velocity is there divided by time when you do, so velocity will be meter per second and time will be again second. So this will shift down here. So meter per second square this will become. So this is how you can calculate. So you can note down these points. So 1 mark will be for this one and 1 mark for this one. Sorry. So the next is the properties of the HSS they have asked. So what are the properties? So different materials will be having different properties. The mechanical properties, what are the, in general you can say ductility, malleability, toughness, hardness, such properties are there. So here the steel, it is one of the hard material, so that's why we can say it is a high wear resistance, means it won't get um, weared out easily. So that's why we use for this one for the machine tools and all. The next, easily machinability, it is having good toughness, it is having high temperature, it can withstand. So these are the some general common properties we can say. Again there are other properties like it is corrosion resistant. Okay, um, so such properties you can write down here. So total the answer is for 3 marks, so you have to write at least 6 points. 1 2 3 4 5 6 properties you have to write, then only there is a possibility of that you will get 3 out of 3 marks. Okay, next, the properties of the sorry, brass. So the question is what, let us see. So mention the main constituents of the brass with the composition they have asked. Here you can see the composition of the brass they asked. And next, explain the thermal conductivity, list the types of the constant motions. Okay, these answers we're going to see. So here property is mixture of the brass. It is made up of the copper and zinc especially. It is alloy. Brass is an alloy. It is a copper and zinc. When you mix these two, so it will form what? Brass. It will going to form. So copper is 60 to 70% and zinc is 30 to 40%, depending upon the composition what it is required. So both the elements are mixed here. So brass is a composition, you have to mention, you will get 3 marks. So next they explain the thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity, it is one of the properties. So there are different conduction, convection and radiation. So thermal conductivity, it is the amount of heat transferred per unit time through a unit area. Whenever you are transmitting the some heat per unit area, then we can say that the transfer of the heat is called as a thermal conductivity in a particular time. So you can consider if there is a wall, so if you heat at one end, then there will be a rise in temperature at the second end, other end. So So this rise in temperature, you can say, so this the temperature difference. So rise in the temperature through a unit area, whatever the area at this end it is there, you will consider unit area uh, per unit time. When you consider, then it is called as a conductivity, it is called as. So here there is a general formula you can calculate with this manner. Q is equal to Ka T2 minus T1. The Q is the heat transfer per unit area, and K is the thermal conductivity, that is thermal conductivity constant, and the T2 minus T1 temperature, this difference at the both the ends, and D is the total length, whatever it is there, you can consider this one. Okay, area is the front area, so this side area, whatever it is there, that you can consider. So next type of the constraint motion. So there are different types of the constraint motion, that is completely constraint motion, incomplete constraint motion, successfully constraint motion. So in these are the types, only just you need to write. They asked, so completely constraint means there will be one link, or else one whatever, if it is there beam, engine and all, so one link will be fixed completely, then it is called as a completely constraint. So incomplete, some one or two or more links will be fixed, and successful uh, constraint, in the constraint motion, the all links are fixed, all links are fixed. So these are the three types of the constraint motions. Next question is the next sixth question, what it is that, let us see. Define the machine in context of the kinematics. So just they ask the definition for 3 marks here, and the motion, the different materials used in the mention the different materials used in the belt drive, and then one finally the write the principle of soldering, we have to write. So here the machine is a mechanism which transmits the motion and a force to perform the useful work. Machine ಒಂದು ಈ ಥರದ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದರ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಥರದ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ, ಅಥವಾ ವರ್ಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಆ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಏನಿರ್ತೈತಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಷೀನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So it is a device which transmit the motion and a force to perform the useful work. Okay, so it is not sufficient, you can go and have somewhat more data about it. It has been written here with the one line only. So material used for the belt is leather, rubber, cotton, so polyethylene or steel reinforced, you can use this kind of the materials for the belt. Then the principle of the soldering, it is a process of joining two or more metals surface using the filler material is called as soldering. Whenever you are joining two or more, already in the film blanks also we have explained that one. Whenever you are joining the two or more metals, there will be no melting of these base metals. We will not going to melt these two metals, metal number 1 and 2. Only we have to add here filler material. So whatever this filler metal is there, this material will be melted and filled into the gap, and because of which the joining of the two metal parts will take place. So here it is important that joining two or more without melting the base metal and using the filler material, okay, instead of that one, which has a lower melting point than the base metals. So this is also important. So whatever the here base, so this filler material it is there, it is having less melting temperature than compared to these two materials, these two plates, plate number 1, plate 2. So the temperature of this is less, the filler, the material which one you are adding into the in between. Okay, by capillary action and solidifying and creating the strong bond you are creating. Okay, so this is section C, part C. So the part D, section 1, in that in the part D. So how many you have to attempt? See, in the part D section 1, in the part D section 1, 5 questions you have to attempt. Each will carry 5 marks. So let us see these all the question and answers. So first one, they have given a problem in which force is given, area is given. So you have to calculate what pressure and stress you have to calculate. Okay, so you can represent this one stress with the help of sigma. You can also represent it one. So let me see first of all here. Calculate the pressure exerted when the force of a 150 kilonewton, sorry 150 newton is applied over the area of this one pressure. Express your answer is in the kilopascal. You have to answer this one. So here you can see area has been given. So stress is equal to what? Or else, sorry, pressure is equal to what? You can say force upon the area. Force upon the area also it is correct. Okay, stress also is calculated force by area, and pressure also force by area. So here 150 divided by 0.5, this is the in terms of the Newton per meter square it is. Okay, how you will calculate 150 divided by 0.5, area is given, directly you can solve that one. So here the answer will be 300 Newton per meter square, that is Pascal. In terms of the Pascal it is. So 1 kilopascal is equal to 1000 Pascal. So here pressure is equal to 300. The answer is what? 300. So you have to divide by this one with the 1000. So whenever you divide with this one in 1000, you will get 0.3 kilopascal. This is answer will be kilopascal. I hope you have got this one. So now the next is the difference between the thermoplastic and thermosetting plastic. So these are the two plastic materials are there. So let us see the difference, thermoplastic and thermosetting plastic. So thermoplastic is composed of the chain molecules. When the molecules are attached, so molecules will be attached in the form of chain, one after another. So here the linked molecules forms. It will be molecules will be in the linked form. The next in the thermoplastic, they are produced by the addition of the polymerization. The process is used, that is polymerization, and here condensation and the polymerization process is used. Okay. Next, they can be mechanically deformed and softened at a higher temperature. Whenever you are heating the thermoplastic, it will become a soft. It can change the shape, but once here in the thermosetting cannot be mechanically deformed and softened at a higher temperature, because once if it has been set, the thermoplastic will not going to get deformed, or else the shape cannot be changed. Either it will going to break or the shape will remain as it is. So that's why here thermoplastic is used as a fire resistant material, and thermosetting, that is thermoplastic is used just as a common plastic. So wherever there is a possibility of fire catching, thermosetting plastic it is used to avoid the fire catch. So here they can be easily mold. So this can be easily mold and remold. Again we can mold. These cannot be remold. New shape again and again you cannot mold this. So already I have told that one. Here thermoplastic can be
soften, made soft again and again we can change the shape. So that's why the as you increase the temperature, plasticity, or you can change the shape, that is only plasticity increases. But here does it, its plasticity will not going to increase, it will remain as it is, hard metal. So the answer is for 5 marks at least you have to write 5 differences. So that's will going to, that's why for that we will going to get total 5 marks. So the mechanical properties, here elasticity, brittleness they have asked. So let me explain you this one. So there are different mechanical properties: ductility, malleability, hardness, toughness. So these are the very basic and important mechanical properties. So elasticity means it is a property of a material by virtue of which the metals are able to regain their original shape. So let me explain this one. If you are having a bar, if you are pulling this one from the both the end, so it will change its size. So again when you remove the forces, it has to come back to the original position. So this to this size, as much as less time it requires, that material is called as a more elastic material. The material whichever requires more time to regain its original shape, the material is called as not a plastic material, or else sorry, elastic material. Elastic means the original shape it will going to acquire quickly. So here important is the metals are able to regain the original shape and size after removal of the load. So rubber and all, everything, steel, rubber, all different types of materials are there. So if you compare rubber and steel, which one is going to regain its original shape quickly? So here steel is more elastic than the rubber, because rubber will not going to regain its shape immediately, steel will going to regain. Okay, remember this one. They might ask this one, fill in the blanks. So next one is brittleness. It is the property of a material by virtue of which the metal will fracture suddenly whenever you are breaking some materials, because of this sudden hammering, or else sudden if you are applying the forces, if it breaks, then it is called as a material is a brittle one. So especially you can see that glass, whenever you are hitting hard with the help of a stone or else hammer, then only it will going to break. But if you stand on the glass, it won't breaks. So whatever material breaks suddenly or else get fractured suddenly with the help of the suddenly applied force, then it is called as a brittleness, or else the property is called as a brittleness. Slow and steady load, if it is there, it can withstand. So the next question is the metal used in the production of the gear housing and automobile. So what are the materials are there, we need to explain. So here aluminum alloy is there, and cast iron is there. So there are different materials which are used for the gears manufacturing. So here they have considered the aluminum. In the lightweight vehicles and the car and bike, they are using heavy duty vehicles, they are using the cast iron. So you have to write application and properties. So aluminum is light in weight, good thermal conductivity is having, high strength to weight ratio it is having, easy to cast and machine. So the cast iron properties are high strength, compressive strength, wear resistance, high hardness it is having. So these are the some properties. Again you can have more properties, so that you are going to get out of marks. So let me explain. The next question is 4-bar mechanism. The 4-bar mechanism is the simplest and movable closed chain. So here why you are calling this one 4-bar mechanism? So here 4 bars are there. So the links, link 1, link 2, link 3, link 4. So in the 4-bar mechanism, it is a fixed rate. One link is fixed. So this link is fixed. Other links can move, operate. So when the crank rotates, it causes the
pillar to move, which in turns makes the rack rocker oscillation. Okay, it converts the rotary motion into the oscillation motion and vice versa. So whenever you move these links, there will be the movement. So because of this one, you can convert the reciprocating motion into the rotary and vice versa. Again, you can rotary to the reciprocating. So because of these four links, it is called as a 4-bar mechanism. Okay, difference between the chain and rope drive. So in the chain drive, chain drive is a positive drive, and the rope drive is a friction drive. It is there. Okay, no slip occurs in the chain drive. Whenever you are having the two wheels, if you are joining these two wheels with the help of a chain, there will be no slip. And it in the if you are using the belt, initially it may slip. Slip may occur under heavy loads also. If there is a heavy load, the belt may get slip. So there is a no slip in the chain drive, as well as it is a positive drive. Suitable for the moderate and high speed. Whenever you are using the chain, you have to use for the low and medium speed. But high speed you can't utilize that one. So this one will high speed. It is chain drive is for high speed. So belt drive is not cannot be. It can be utilized for the low and the medium speed only, not for the high speed. And whenever you are having the more distance, then you can use the rope drive. So less distance if it is there, you can use the chain drive. Efficiency is low, efficiency is high. Requires the regular lubrication chain drive, otherwise it will make noise. So yeah, there will be no lubrication required for the belt drive. Have you ever seen? Is there any lubrication that is required for the belt? No, belt itself will have some grape. So if you are providing the lubrication, then belt will going to slip. So there is no need to provide the lubrication for that one. So next question is here, seventh question, that is, so out of this question, that is seventh question, you have to calculate the two gears wheels having the 80 teeth, 30 teeth mesh with each other. So you have to calculate what, find the speed of the larger wheel. So there are two wheels, one is having 80 teeth and another is having how many teeth? 30 teeth. And if the small so here will be, if there are less, means it will run at 480 rpm. 480 rpm. So this gear will be running at 480 rpm. Find the speed of the larger wheel. So we have to calculate the speed of this wheel. Okay, so to calculate this one, here T1, the teeth on the first gear, T1. So this will be T1 having the teeth 30. This is the second gear, here T2, that is having the 80 gears. So here the formula is N1 T1 is equal to N2 T2, or else you can write this one N1 divided by N2 and T2 divided by T1 also. This is also correct. Both formulas correct. Now here what you have to do, you can see here the formula has been used and rpm N1 is given. So speed of this smaller gear has been given. So 480 N1 you are substituting, T1 you are substituting. Then N2 you have, no, you don't have N2 and you are having the T2. So here whenever this you have multiplication, 80 goes to the opposite side, it will be divided. So the multiplication of this one is this much, multiplication 480 into 30 this much, and whenever you move this one 80 to this side, it has to be divided by 80. Okay, divided by 80. So same you can see here, 140400 divided by 80. So you can keep this one n2 here, and this whole this n2 to this side and whole data to this side. So that's what they have taken here. Okay, the final answer is 180. So the speed of this will be 180 rpm. When you run this wheel with the 30 teeth with 480 rpm, then second wheel with the 80 teeth, it will run at the 180 rpm. So this is the answer. And the next question is oxyacetylene welding. You have to explain. So oxyacetylene welding is one of the gas welding. Uh, you are using the high temperature flame over here. So mixture of the C2H2 plus O2, oxygen, and C2H4 you are using, and here there will be heat you will be producing. So when you produce the heat over here to join the two metals, you have to produce the heat at this point. So it will melt these two materials also, as well as it will melt the filler material. Filler material means which get consumed, which melts. So such melt material will be filled into the gap, and it will make the perfect joint. Oxygen and acetylene gas is used for this one, for joining and melting the metals. The flame reaches the temperature up to 3200 degrees Celsius. The temperature at this point will be how much? It will be 3200 degrees Celsius. So then only it is possible. Next, again you are having uh, 5 questions with the 3 marks each. You can see here, sorry, 10 questions with the 3 mark each you are having. Each is for 3 marks. Sorry, I'm sorry, really sorry. 3 questions you have read, which are of 10 marks each. 10 marks each. So here, um, again there is a one problem, similar problem you are having. We will study this problem in the next video. Problem separately, problem video we will going to study. Suggest the non-cutting tools material suitable for the machining mild steel moderate. So these are the bit lengthy questions and answers. We need to study this one separately in the different video. I am here having these answers, but it is not sufficient. So here there is one question that is again that problem and answer we are having. You can see. Then you have to explain that sleep and all. Again this 10 marks question it is there. Bit lengthy you have to write. It is not sufficient. The permanently joint of the MS plate. Explain the suitable welding process you have to explain. So here you can use the arc metal shield metal arc welding. You have to say first of all, then steps whatever you are going to perform for the filling the lap joint you have to explain. So this is the what we have seen, and in this problem, so this problem I can say. So this problem here, rpm is given and diameter of the pulleys have been given. Motor pulley, that is this one, first one, d1 is 200 and d2 shaft pulley is 500. Motor is running at 1400. So you have to calculate n1. So this is n1, and Here you need to calculate n2. So what will be the formula for this one? The formula for this one will be d1 by n1, sorry, d1 d2 is equal, here you are having you can see d1 divided by d2, this will be n2 divided by n1. So this is the formula what you can utilize. So here you have to substitute the values, and if you are considering slip 5%, then the formula will be 1 minus s divided by 100. So here 5% slip means 5 divided by 100 you are doing, 1 minus 5 divided by 100. So this will 100 will convert this one to the 1 minus 5 divided by 100, it will convert that one. Okay, and the n1 you are substituting, so this is the conversion. So this is what this equation actually is. This one is correct, and you have to correct that one as required. As it is required, you have to change that one formula. So here d2 will so n1 will be multiplied to this one. At this side n1 will be multiplied, so it remains n2 is equal to d1 by d2 into n, and again additionally you have to add the slip. I will discuss this same problem in the next video separately.